Alright, I think this one's my hottest take yet. I don't actually hate the alignment system in D&D 5e. I actually think it's very helpful. Now wait. Before you scroll, let me explain how I use it. I see a lot of people in this community struggle with the idea of something being objectively good or objectively evil, or even objectively lawful or objectively chaotic. But I would argue, as with most philosophical frameworks, that its blind spots are not only purposeful, but a feature. And I would also say that's true about its up-in-the-airness. It's supposed to be that way. There's a lot of easy holes we can poke in this framework, like, for example, if someone is lawful good, that would mean that they do the lawful thing and the moral thing all the time, but we all know that those things don't always align. And you could also say that lawful refers to how much one sticks to their own ethics, but why even have a good or evil judgment in the first place then? Also, we've all seen the chaotic neutral character who is secretly chaotic evil, and the reason that goes by so well is they can say that acting in one's self-interest is neutral, and therefore that person is going to screw over or bulldoze whoever is in their path just to make sure that they can get what they want in that moment. While all interpretations of a philosophical framework are valid, it doesn't make them all useful.
But didn't you say that the vagueness was a feature?
Yes, I did, and I stand by that. Here's why. If we think about a word like good, in this instance, it can mean a few different things. Quite a few. The most common meaning that people seem to have for it is the most moral thing, which is generally the most ethical thing as well, which that's a very hard thing to determine at any given moment. So a lot of times I see that reduced to a more action-based definition, like what's the most helpful thing? What's the most solution-oriented thing? Or what helps the most people? What's the most utilitarian thing? The same could be said, of course, about the word evil, which could mean the most immoral thing most commonly. Now, from my own life experience, it's very hard to find people who are focused on doing the most immoral thing possible. There are people, of course, who don't mind doing things that are extremely immoral for their own personal gain, but maybe that changes the definition to the most self-interested thing. However, we could turn that around and say sometimes the self-interested thing is actually the good or ethical thing to do. And therefore, someone who's aligned evil could do something good because they think it's evil. And this is where I think it gets crutchy. The simple fact that you now have to see the world through the lens of what your character thinks is good or evil versus what they think is lawful or chaotic. That not only helps you construct their personality, but helps you construct their views on human nature, the world, society at large, maybe even their political beliefs and alignments. Remember when I said that the vagueness was a feature?
Oh yeah, I guess you did say that.
Who is that? Anyways, what I was saying was if you can give your character a framework to look through the world that's based on what they think is good or evil or lawful or chaotic, then you have a very easy way to start generating a lot of their personal thoughts, beliefs, and values. And I think it's in this vein that a lot of DMs make their first mistake in interpreting alignment. The gods, for example, are seen as an objectively good force in the world, but we all know that sometimes things the gods do have consequences that are bad in the short term or the long term. We also know that everyone from the lower planes is supposed to be evil aligned, and that means inherently that there is some abject morality that the planes themselves are built upon. But I think the truth is that good aligned creatures is determined by those who say they are good and win, while evil is determined by those same ones who are saying that they're the good ones. And if you, as a DM, think that a creature being aligned good means they're always going to do the good thing, and another creature being aligned evil means they're always going to do the evil thing, then you are projecting your definition of those two words onto your players and world. Because in reality, of course, all of these concepts are made up and enforced by people and things that believe them.
But wait, if I'm DMing, how am I supposed to prevent myself from projecting my own ideas on morality and nature onto my own world?
Well, newsflash, you can't. If any of the people who follow me practice science, you will know that there is no such thing as objectively true science. There is only provable scientific theories that have been consistently proven over and over again for as long as they've been practiced. And if you're somehow similar enough to me that you've read Descartes, then you'll know that there's no such thing as objectively true perception or reality. It's only I think, therefore I am. So really, the best you can do there is enough. Really. And if you're a DM who watches your playgroup regularly commit war crimes and you tell them to change their alignment, remember that the way that they will now act as a character is according to their own view of that alignment, none of yours.
Oh wait, I have a view that human nature is that humans are inherently good, and the only reason that they turn bad is because they get their mind polluted by bad things in the world, and wouldn't that make everyone good all the time? That would be so boring.
Who would... Where did... It doesn't have to be. In fact, it's just analogous to how you see the world right now. So maybe your best bet is just to act as if every one of your characters is lawful good, and see what decisions they make because of their past. But anyways, that's all just a theory. You can play however you want.